welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and today we're going to be doing a Q&A. Grab a cup of tea and let's get into it. So question 1 is, how did you get started with cruise ships? I finished school at 16 and I went to college to study beauty therapy. So I did aromatherapy, massage therapy. I'm a trained esthetician and I loved it. In my second year at college, there was a lady that came in who worked for Steiner, and she came into the college and basically did a presentation on working on cruise ships, and she just made it sound amazing. It was like one day of my life. I never forgot it. Like, ever since she came in, I always had it in my head that I wanted to work on cruise ships, because like when I left school I had no idea what I wanted to be, and it just happened that I went to college to study massage therapy and I loved it, but it was by chance. But the one thing that I always knew I wanted to do was travel the world, but obviously at 16 I did not have the means to be able to do that. So this just seemed like a fantastic opportunity to earn money and also travel the world. And it was. So I did another course in makeup artistry and I worked at a salon for about a year, and then I started my career on cruise ships with Steiner. And to be honest, when I started with Steiner, I had no idea of just the amount of jobs there were to do on cruise ships. It was only when I got on board I was like, oh my god, like I could be a photographer, I could work in the art department, like you can be an officer. Like, it was just this whole new world that was opened up to me, and I suppose through this channel that's what I'm trying to get across, is it is an amazing opportunity and there is pretty much a job for everyone on board a cruise ship. So that is how I got started, just a presentation by a lovely lady from Steiner, and yeah, I've never looked back. Question 2, which companies have you worked for? I worked for Steiner first and they put me on Royal Caribbean ships. So I did 3 Royal Caribbean ships with Steiner. Then I had some time at home and got a job with Harding, who put me on P&O. I'm still with Harding and now I'm on board Virgin Voyages. So cruise lines, I've worked for Royal Caribbean, P&O UK and Virgin Voyages. Agencies have been Steiner and Harding. Question 3, if you had to do it all again, is there anything that you would change? I would have started Cruising as Crew earlier, because I've had so many incredible experiences that I obviously didn't document. It's not even for the fact that, oh, if I'd have started earlier I'd have more subscribers now. Like, it's not even for that. It's the fact that I've got into this habit of documenting a lot of my experiences. Like, as you guys have seen, some of my best days on the Scarlet Lady were documented. The beach club party at Bimini, like some of my favourite experiences are on camera. So I wish I had started Cruising as Crew earlier, so I had got the time I climbed Hubbard Glacier, or went on the dog sledding excursion, or stayed overnight in the desert in Dubai. Like, those experiences I would have loved to have captured. That's the only thing I would change, I think. On here I've gone through like my roommates, and you know, some of them haven't been rosy, but I have learnt something valuable from every single one of those experiences. I know it's cheesy as hell, but it's got me to where I am now. So the only thing would be, I wish I had documented more. So if you are going on a cruise ship, make sure you've got an SD card, make sure you have memory on your phone, take as many videos, take as many photos as you possibly can. Question number 4, would you ever go back to working in the spa after working in the shops? No. Reason being, I had a fantastic time when I worked in the spa, when I worked for Steiner. It really shaped me as a person. It was a fantastic experience, but I earn the same amount of money now working in the shops as I did when I worked for Steiner, working in the spa. However, by working in the shops, I work a lot less. The shops are only open when the ship is at sea, which means I basically get every port day off, unless I have to come in and do like stock check or delivery, but that's not very often. And the work just isn't as strenuous. I'm working in a shop at the end of the day, so I'm having nice conversations with people, I'm advising people on their purchases, whereas with Steiner it's very physical. Like, you might be massaging 8 people in one day and you don't get as much time off. So as much as I enjoy being a massage therapist, an esthetician, if I can work less and earn the same amount of money, I'd be silly to go back. Question 5, if you could do any position outside of working in the shops. So basically, if you could work in any other department outside of the shops, what would it be? I'm gonna say the art department. When you go on a cruise ship, there's usually art galleries and there is art up for sale. One, because like I'm a salesman, I enjoy it, so I'm gonna stay in that realm. All of the skills that you need to work in the art department, I feel that I possess. And also it's very similar to the shops in that you can only really sell artwork when the ship is at sea. So the time off is very similar, if not more, to shop staff. And on most cruise lines, art staff are considered a higher rank, so they get like a lot more privileges. So if there is an officer's mess, they usually get to eat there. They're considered an officer basically. So on a cruise ship you have officers, staff and crew. So as a shoppy, I am considered staff. I'd also work in the excursions department. So again, I would be selling excursions. This isn't an easy job. You know, you don't get as much time off. You can make a lot of money. You usually get your own cabin. Once again, you are considered an officer. And also you get to go on these excursions sometimes. It's a really nice job and everyone who I have had the pleasure of meeting that does that job really likes it. So yeah, art department or excursions, but I am very happy in the shops. Question number 6. What is your favourite thing about Virgin Voyages from a sailor's point of view? Obviously I'm a crew member, so I'm guessing what I think is great about Virgin Voyages for a sailor. That would be adults only, no kids. Everyone loves their own kids, but everyone hates everyone else's kids. So the fact that, hate's a strong word, but the fact that it's adults only is huge. Free Wi-Fi is massive. I mean, I've spoke to so many people working on board and this was something that was always mentioned, you know, the fact that there's free Wi-Fi, and it's actually good Wi-Fi. Like, you can watch a YouTube video on it, you can FaceTime on it, whereas there are some cruise lines who offer basic and then premium Wi-Fi packages. I've spoken to people who had the premium Wi-Fi package and they couldn't even send an email or a message over WhatsApp. So the fact that the Wi-Fi is free and it is actually good is huge. The food is another thing that everyone commented on. Like, the food is absolutely outstanding, and also all the food is included in the price you pay when you book the cruise. So, you know, you normally go on the cruise and you can eat in the buffet and maybe you can eat in the main dining room, but then if you want to go to a speciality restaurant you have to pay a lot extra. Whereas on Virgin Voyages, yes, there's the buffet, the food court, you know, the galley, but there's also a load of other speciality restaurants that are free. You can eat in a different restaurant every night of your cruise and it's going to be outstanding. So yeah, the food and the way that Virgin Voyages have done the food is amazing. Really, really amazing. And probably the fact that, like, even the basic cabins have a balcony. On some cruise lines, on a lot of cruise lines actually, if you book a real basic cabin, it's an inside cabin, which means it does not have a window, a balcony, nothing. It's basically a cupboard with a bathroom. But going on Virgin Voyages, you are going to get a balcony. And it's just a little bit of luxury. Just being able to go out on your balcony and watch the sea. If you don't want to be surrounded by people, you don't have to be. So yeah, I really, really like that. Question 7. Lucy, how do you fill your days during your time off? How do I fill my days? I feel like I either have one of 2 days. So one is exploring. Obviously this depends on if shore leave is granted because of COVID, blah blah blah, but if I can get off, I'm gonna get off the ship really early, spend the day exploring whatever port we are in, and then get back as late as possible, have a shower and go to work. And then I have other days that are domestic days. I get up, I go to the gym, I do laundry, I clean my cabin, I go have lunch in the mess. You know, they're days where you just get all the shit done that you need to get done. Yeah, and I think that's for most people. On your time off, you're in one of 2 modes. Either let's get off and explore mode or let's be domestic mode. I do spend a significant portion of my time off on cruising as crew, you know, doing YouTube and blog posts and Instagram and all of that. That's what a lot of my time off is doing. But I love it, so it's all right. Question 8 is, how often do you do laundry? So how often do you have these domestic days? So firstly, we don't wash our uniform. Our uniform goes through the laundry department. I mean, that will be done every like 3 days, my uniform. But I have like 4 sets of uniforms. So anyway, my personal laundry, I'll do it like once a week. I don't like doing laundry. I've talked about it before. The less that I can do it, the better. So I take a lot of underwear and a lot of changes of clothes so that I can do laundry once a week. Why didn't you show us pictures of crew bar or any of the crew areas? Is it because you are not allowed? There are some restrictions on how much I can show of the crew areas. So to be honest, I've just steered clear. Obviously I work for Virgin Voyages. I love working for them. So I don't want to jeopardize my job with them because I've like filmed too much of a crew area. So for me, I'm just like, it's just better to not film it. Also, I mean, when it comes to crew bar, people work extremely long hours. They go to crew bar to relax. The last thing that they want is some girl coming down with her vlogging camera, getting everyone on film. Like, I'm very conscious of only filming people who are okay being filmed. Like, if you see anyone in my YouTube videos, it's because they are happy to be filmed. I understand that there's people who absolutely do not want to be on YouTube, and that's fine. So I'm not gonna go down trying to film people when, you know, they're trying to relax. And it's just not very courteous to my colleagues. So no, I'm not going to be filming crew bar. Question 10, can you please do more ship tours? I really liked the first tour you did of the Scarlet Lady. Thank you. So I did the ship tour of the Scarlet Lady back in 2020, and then I went back to the Scarlet Lady. So I obviously didn't do another ship tour because I was like, well, it's going to be exactly the same as the one I posted. And then obviously, depending on what ship I go to next, even if it's Resilient or Valiant, they are designed the same as the Scarlet Lady. As far as I know, I think they are going to have some slight changes. So I can absolutely do a ship tour talking about the differences between like the Scarlet Lady and Resilient or Valiant, whichever one I go on. I don't know, because like I said, it's basically the same layout. So, but if you guys want a ship tour when I get on board, then let me know and I'll be happy to do one. Question 11, do you get updates about the COVID situation on board while you are on vacation? No. So all I will say is cruise lines are only going to give you the information that you need. I don't need to know if there is shore leave on the Scarlet Lady when I'm on vacation. The only time I would get information regarding COVID is if it affected my joining date for my next contract. But even then, I probably wouldn't be given specifics. I would just be told, because of this, you're now going to join your ship on this date. And you'll have to quarantine, or you won't have to quarantine, or whatever. But no, while you are on vacation, you will not receive updates, because the whole point, you're on holiday from that. You don't want to still hear about all that while you're on holiday. You want to completely disconnect from being on the cruise ship. So no. Question 12, do you know which cruise lines are allowing their crew members to get off? So which cruise lines are giving shore leave to crew? It's not really always to do with the cruise line. It's to do with the CDC. It's to do with where they are. Like, some ports are really funny about people getting off. Like, when the Scarlet Lady was in Miami, we weren't allowed to get off, but we were allowed to get off in Mexico and Bimini. So sometimes it's the country that you are in rather than the cruise line that you work for. Question 13, do you think Virgin Voyages will delay the next ship due to COVID? No, I don't think COVID is going to affect Valiant's launch. We'll just have to see. I mean, who knows? But I don't think so. I've obviously got a lot of my fellow crew members on Instagram, so I've seen that they have all been joining when they were scheduled to, so I'm hoping that that means that everything is on track and Valiant is going to launch when originally planned. But you'll just have to stay tuned, we will have to see. Question 14, are you still friends with people that you met on previous contracts? Yes, I am. I would say 1 or 2 people from every contract regularly, and then there are obviously a lot of people I've met, so I'll maybe speak to people like once every few months. But it's funny because on your first contract, you become so close to people and you obviously haven't experienced it before. So you go with this kind of naivety of like, oh, we're going to be friends forever and we're going to stay in contact all the time. And that's just not reality, unfortunately. Like, you'll maybe stay in contact with 1 or 2 really special people that you've met on that contract, but it won't be everyone. Would you truly recommend working on cruise ships? Can you imagine if I said no? I was like, this channel is all a lie. No, Don't work on a... Absolutely. Like, my whole channel, Cruising as Crew, is about recommending working on cruise ships. It has been the best decision I have ever made. I have seen places I wouldn't have been able to afford to see or had the time to see. I have met people, I've grown as a person, I've got good at my job. Like, there's just so many pros. 100%. I absolutely would recommend working on a cruise ship. Even if you just do one contract and you decide it's not for you, it's better to know that it wasn't for you than to always live with that, oh, what if I'd have got on the cruise ship? Would I have enjoyed it? Would I not? So yeah, I would recommend it. This is what the whole channel is about. It is one of the best decisions you will ever make. And yeah, I can't recommend it enough. But anyway guys, thank you so much for submitting those questions. I really enjoyed answering them. And if you have any more questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Please press the like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. But I hope you have a fantastic day and I will see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.